You participate in the machinery of a modern democracy, but the fundamental direction of your life is being drafted in boardrooms you will never enter. Behind the internet noise of celebrity blood sacrifices and mind control myths lies a much more effective, documented reality of global influence. In 1776, a real organization emerged in this region of Bavaria. It was a radical society designed with one specific objective: the systematic infiltration of state institutions. The group focused on installing its members into the administrative layers of government, realizing that the person whispering to the king holds more leverage than the king himself. While the original 1776 group eventually vanished from the records, their method of cellular infiltration became the standard blueprint for how modern elites maintain a grip on global affairs. This pipeline begins within the windowless brownstone walls of Yale University. Skull and Bones functions as a high-level recruitment phase, tapping a tiny, hyper-exclusive fraction of the student body to bind their loyalties for life. This specific society produced the founders of the CIA, multiple Supreme Court justices, and 3 generations of presidential power, linking this private tomb directly to the highest levels of the U.S. government. This concentration of power ensures that by the time you reach the voting booth, the primary leadership options have already been vetted by a single, secretive network. These elite networks rest on the historical bedrock of the Freemasons, an organization that mastered the art of exclusionary power through absolute privacy. The Eye of Providence and 13-step pyramid appear on every U.S. dollar bill, marking currency with symbols of the men who founded the nation's financial institutions. The Latin inscription at the base, Novus Ordo Seclorum, declares an intent to establish a new order of the ages. That coordination continues today through the Bilderberg Group, where 130 of the world's most influential tech billionaires and politicians gather annually. Armed guards prevent any press access or public record of the meetings, allowing the world's most powerful people to discuss your future in total privacy. These meetings allow for a global alignment on international borders and financial markets that completely bypasses any form of public debate or democratic oversight. Organizations like the Council on Foreign Relations operate as public think tanks, though their influence on global policy is anything but theoretical. This group acts as an unelected shadow government, writing the policy papers that decide which nations receive support and where the next global conflicts will emerge. Beyond the sterile boardrooms of D.C., the elite retreat to the absolute isolation of the Bohemian Grove in the California redwoods. Men with access to the nuclear codes participate in private rituals like the cremation of care, bonding through shared secrecy, while the public is kept behind guarded perimeters. These gatherings ensure the ruling class aligns their agendas and resolves their differences long before the public is allowed to voice an opinion. This network uses immense wealth and exclusive access to bypass the slow, messy process of democracy in favor of a prearranged consensus. The frantic movement on a stock exchange floor represents the downstream effect of economic strategies predetermined in private summits months earlier. The financial realities governing your life, from interest rates to the cost of living, are the predictable outcomes of those private agreements. Radical internet transparency has forced these societies to change their communication tactics, but it hasn't diminished their reach. The loud, chaotic nature of modern media has actually made these private, off-the-grid meetings more essential for maintaining their control over global systems. In a world where every citizen is tracked and monitored, true power belongs exclusively to those who retain the ability to operate invisibly. The inflation eroding your savings and the foreign conflicts demanding your taxes are not the results of a chaotic random history. These are the calculated outcomes of handshakes made in rooms that you do not have the clearance to enter. The world is highly organized. You just aren't in the club.